Continuing on with our solving, we were adding 3.6a to both sides of the equation to collect our like terms. So here we have 6.6a plus 1 equaling 3.6, and then we're going to subtract the 1 to put our constants all to the right. So 6.6a equals 2.6. And then to finish that up, we need to divide by 6.6. And if you're using a calculator to check your decimal here, 2.6 divided by 6.6 gives us a equaling 0.39. And you'll notice on your calculator that it goes on and on, so we use the repeating sign for that decimal. There we have a specific solution. Here's our last example. And you can see in this one there's a lot of parentheses, so the first thing we want to do is distribute. And to remind you that you distribute to everything, I like to use those arrows. So 3 times m, 3 times 1.5, so 1 of the 3 and half of it makes 4.5, equals 1.5 times 2 makes 3m, plus 1.5 times 3 makes 4.5. And here, if I start to combine my like terms and move my variable over to the left, you can see I end up with 0 m's in either spot. And if I try to move my constants over to the right, I end up with 0 for the constants. 0 equals 0. That is true, which means my answer is that I have an identity equation, because one side of the equation is exactly the same as the other. So those are examples of how to tell if you have the identity equation or if you have a no solution equation. Last thing I want to show you is a word problem, and this word problem is about an office manager buying a copier. They spend $650 on a new copier that will reduce the monthly electric bill from $112 to $88. In how many months will the copier pay for itself? So, since they're asking us to solve for months, we know x equals months. Okay, again, I always encourage you to look for totals, so we know 650 is our total. So, this is a dollar amount, which means dollars equals dollars, and we have to add parts up. Well, what do you know? They were paying $112 a month, but it's going to go down to $88 a month. So, 112x minus 88x tells me how much money I am saving a month. Every month I save the difference between these two, and when I pay for itself, I have to save that much money. So, this equation will let me solve. 650 equals 112 take away 88 is 24x, and there's 12 to get back to 100, and then 12 more over 100. To get x by itself, I'm going to divide by 24, and calculator, that's going to be a funny one. 650 divided by 24 is 27.083. So, in 28 months, my copier will pay for itself. So it's going to take me a little bit over 2 years for that copier to pay for itself. So, as you work on solving equations with variables on both sides of the problem, make sure you take your time to combine all your like terms, pick a side, left side or right side for constants, one for variables, as you go about your solving, and watch out for those no solution and identity problems.